If you're not the center of the universe, then why does it matter to you what anybody else does or how anybody else behaves? It's super important to you to get it right, isn't it? So much so that you think you know. So much so that when someone displays some sort of behavior that you don't necessarily agree with, what do? So much so you think you're so special, you post on social media your criticism of their quote-unquote behavior, right? As if they're so stupid. As if they're fucking it up so bad for everyone else. Woo, wow. So what do? Even as you hear this, you justify your behavior. Why are you justifying your behavior? Because you think you're the center of the universe. So much so that you think there's something outside of you. So much so that you think those things outside of you are dictating some sort of experience for you. So if that's the case, then what are you running your mouth for in a state of anger? If you know things are beyond your control, then why are you trying to fucking control it? You don't make any sense. Ah, man, I swear. You know, let's say you get yourself into a relationship where somebody criticizes, your behavior. Let's say you got a friend that disagrees with you, starts arguing with you, ends up pulling your relationship apart. See, that's when I first noticed it. When I was a kid, when I was a small child, and I noticed family members hating each other so much and separating and displaying this aggressive, angry, violent, foul language in front of children. And then when I was older and going through life, I perceived myself as going through it quite differently than everyone else, and then also experiencing the judgment, their judgment of how I need to get it right and how society is supposed to do things, right? And the misery, the alcohol consumption, the hypocrisy, let's ban plastic bags at the grocery store, but then you walk into the grocery store and look to your left and they have the plastic umbrella bags. Oh, but they use those way less than the countless amounts of plastic bags that you would put your groceries in. You see what I mean? See where I'm going with this? If you're going to justify the righteousness of one thing, then what? See the delusion, my friends? Oh, but then there's very obvious things, Shane. Very obvious things, Shane. Like, Shane, you're bad because you did da-da-da. And don't get me wrong, I've snorted more cocaine, so much cocaine, along with my broken noses, that I've got one of those things that they call deviated septum. I've healed a lot of it, though. There's things that I probably shouldn't even speak publicly about that I've done. And people will say, well, yeah, that kind of behavior is unacceptable. That's why they have jail. That's why they have this. That's why they have that. And some people even speak of mental aptitude, or is this person healthy mentally? So you mean to tell me that the way that we're supposed to take care of somebody with a disease is to throw them in jail and lock them away But when somebody has congestive heart failure, we cry. We do everything we can to keep them healing or healed or alive. We fight so hard for their existence. And then when they die, we're crumbled and crushed. We miss them so much. But yet when somebody displays something, a disease, which we've learned that it is a disease, but that disease is just so much different, so much more different because of our righteousness, right? But the delusion to me, my friends, is much deeper than that. I mean, to me, which is still delusion, but, you know, the medical system, for example. A nurse told me the other day, I'm a nurse, like as if she knew better. Meanwhile, she's a nurse feeding hospital patients toast with bleached flour, Jell-O with alternative sugar that causes cancer. And that's in a hospital, where these very patients of yours are quote-unquote dying. So it's this contradictory behavior, my friends, that causes the blindness, if you will. And what is it blinding you from? What's it blinding you from? It's blinding you from yourself. My friends, we live in a multiverse. You are the center of your universe. Think about it for a second. Where is the vision coming from? It's coming from you. So of course you're at the center. Spin around in a 360 right now. You're at the center of something so big. So then you get to your body, your physical body, right? You're like, oh yeah, okay, it ends with me. Look inside your body. There's a whole nother set of multiverses. Each individual cell inside your body just spun around and looked around and said, oh my God. Oh my God. This body's on X Games mode. I know you think you're getting it right. What are you getting right again? Yeah, just enjoy life. Enjoy your experience. Each individual experience, my friends. It's that individual experience that has the privilege to breathe air. Yes, even the starving children that you feel so much empathy for, yet you do not a damn thing about. You don't have to feel bad. It's beyond your control. You don't have to ignore it either. You could see it, look at it just fine, and it not alter your perception or behavior or breath or anything. Because that has nothing to do with you. You have no control over it. And you can say extreme things right now, like, oh, Shane, well, so I could take a knife and go slice somebody's throat? See what I mean? That's fucking delusion. Well, Shane, you did this and you did that. Do you remember that time that you da-da-da-da-da? Or how about this? Or how about that? Or how about your behavior with this and this and this? Come on, man. Go through the patterns of your own mind, your own judgment of yourself. Listen to yourself, criticize yourself when you're not criticizing others. When you go into the mirror and you criticize that little fat right here, or that line right there, or that zit right there. Or maybe your hair is too long and you wonder if you are perceived as not clean. Or maybe you could just look in the mirror at the bewilderment of this joining, of this cluster of cells that have come together, these atoms that have split a bazillion, quadrillion, trillion, 10 to the million zeros times. I just wonder. I just wonder. What would you be getting done right now if you weren't watching this movie? What would you be getting done if you weren't criticizing yourself? What if you looked in the mirror and just were like, oh my God, look how beautiful I am. And then you practice that so much that every person you saw in your life, in your multiverse, in your universe that you were the center of, you looked around and you're like, oh my God, look how pretty all of us are. Oh man. And you go on TikTok and you see all these cool, fun videos and everybody being so silly. How could we be so silly in the middle of a quote-unquote pandemic, fools? Why? Because at our core, we know it is beyond us. And all we want to do is love. It's a default mechanism, just like this mind drawing conclusions. It's a default mechanism. Love is just absolutely happening with or without you, with or without a thought process. You just took a breath of air, sat up straight, opened your chest. Oh, wow. And it happened again. The structure in which you just gave yourself love is mind-blowing. The possibilities, my friends. What do they say? You got 90-something% junk DNA. What's really happening here, my friends? Are all those behaviors that you're perceiving really happening? I don't think so. And if they are, maybe they were just for you. I love you so much. Oh my God. I know you've had to work really hard to accept me. So much so that when you look in the mirror now, you're going to see yourself a little different. You're going to look into your eyes and see just how special you are. So beautiful, so thoughtful, so caring, so loving, so full of energy, love, and life, laughter, gifts of all kinds.